All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about a book that was so scandalous when it first came out, its author was literally put on trial. A book that finds poetry in poison and beauty in the gutter. We are getting into Charles Baudelaire's masterpiece, The Flowers of Evil.
But first, let me ask you something. Can you really find beauty in ugliness? I mean, in the grime, the chaos, the whole mess of modern life. Just hang on to that question, because it's pretty much the key to unlocking everything we're about to get into.
So, let's start with the book's dark secret. I mean, to really get why this thing was so shocking, you don't have to look any further than its title.
In the original French, it's Les Fleurs du Mal. Kinda sounds elegant, right? Poetic, even.
But when you translate it, you get The Flowers of Evil. And right there, in just those 4 words, you've got the tension that powers the entire book. Flowers, evil, beauty, and corruption just smashed together. It's basically a warning label for the conflict to come. So you have to remember, back then, poetry was all about, rolling hills, serene nature, perfect, idealized love. And Baudelaire just took that rulebook and threw it right out the window. He looked at the grimy, industrial, fast-paced city of Paris and said, that's what I'm going to write about. The grit, the anonymous crowds, the fleeting moments, and yeah, even the decay. So, what's the big deal, right? Baudelaire wasn't just swapping out pretty landscapes for dirty streets. No. He was up to something way deeper, way more radical, something that went far beyond just the scenery.
This whole collection is basically his attempt to map the soul of the modern person. You know that feeling of being completely alone in a massive crowd? The sensory overload, the boredom, the desperate search for something, anything that feels real? He was one of the very first to be brutally honest about all these new, modern feelings. Okay, so we've got the what, but what about the vibe? What does it actually feel like to read this stuff? Well, to really get it, you have to decode this massive emotional war that's happening on pretty much every single page. On one side, you've got this feeling he called spleen. And just think of it like the ultimate case of the Sunday scaries mixed with a serious dose of burnout and a deep, existential dread. It's that feeling that everything is just pointless, gray, and totally exhausting. Just listen to this. A poet's soul that wanders in the gutter with the jaded voice of a shivering ghost. Wow, you can just feel the crushing weight in those lines, can't you? That, right there, is the essence of spleen. But, and this is key, fighting against that spleen is this desperate, almost violent search for what he calls the ideal. He's hunting for these moments of pure, transcendent beauty. And frankly, he does not care if that beauty comes from heaven or from hell, as long as it gives him even a glimpse of something more, something infinite. And that conflict, that is the engine that drives the entire book. It's this constant, vicious battlefield, a total tug-of-war between the profound boredom of the mud, that's the spleen, and the desperate, clawing search for the stars, that's the ideal. And this whole conflict, it gives us some of the most powerful lines in all of poetry. Seriously, lines that are so sharp and so modern they feel like they could have been written yesterday and posted online this morning. Have you ever locked eyes with a complete stranger on a crowded street? Felt that sudden, intense connection, and then poof, they're gone forever. Baudelaire absolutely nailed that feeling of the urban mist connection. A flash, then the night. It's just perfect. And this one, wow, this just perfectly captures that modern anxiety we all feel. That sense that time is an enemy, that it's constantly slipping away and literally consuming us from the inside out. It's a feeling that is absolutely 100% timeless. So after all this, we get to the really big question. Why should any of us care about some French poet from the 1850s? Well, the answer, and this is what's so incredible, is that Baudelaire, he was writing about us. That feeling of being lost and anonymous in a crowd, the constant noise and sensory overload of city life, that endless scroll just searching for an authentic connection, the struggle with boredom and distraction, trying to find some meaning in all this chaos. Baudelaire was there first. He diagnosed the condition of modern life before it even really had a name. So reading The Flowers of Evil isn't just some academic exercise. It's about finding the vocabulary for our own lives. He gives us the words to talk about this strange, weird mix of beauty and ugliness, connection and loneliness that defines our world. So I'll just leave you with this. Take a look around your own life. your own city, your own modern mess? Where do you find those little, unexpected moments of beauty in all the chaos? Where are your flowers of evil blooming?